Hello. Hi. Happy Thursday. Welcome to my pool area where I am still healing. Hello. All right, sorry, my team was messaging me. I'm coming to find you. Hi. Okay, so welcome to my pool area because I'm still healing a little bit from the infection that I had, so my body's been starving for sunshine. Thank you, Jesus. I live in Florida where there's an overflow of massive amounts of sunshine. Not a problem. Hi, Amanda. Yes, you caught me live. I'm glad you're here. Yay. Hi, Shannon. Happy. I never saw what happened. Oh, old news. You have to scroll, Shannon. I just got an infection and ended up in the hospital. I'm still healing a little bit, so I'm in the sunshine, basking in the sunshine. Okay, today's topic, what did I call it, is holding space for your people. And really, out of all of the things, it's like this journey's been really incredible, right? And I know you guys know what I'm talking about because I know the journey's been really incredible for you. It's like things combine in a way that it's like, you know, it's those 1% shifts in the growth and the expansion, and then all of a sudden they combine into like this huge realization or this. And I was even talking to one of my private clients earlier, and he was saying like up until this certain point he had been feeling like he wasn't expanding and wasn't growing, and then all of a sudden, you know, on this certain day, all of a sudden it felt like he could see how much he had grown. And hey, Phil. And say hi to me if you're on so I can see who else is on. If you're new, please tell me you're new so I can come find you and say hi to you and get to know you a little bit. So today was one of those days, and the program that I just created is one of those times where I realized this is my life's work. It's like a lifetime of lessons and growings and shiftings to get to the place where I'm able to hold a container in a space for other people who are willing to show up the way that I've been wanting to show up and had other people hold space for me, right? So here's what I want to talk to you about today. Holding space for other people and what's required in order to be able to do that. Because if you're anything like me, you long for that more than anything else on the planet. You long to be able to hold a powerful space and a powerful container for other people to have massive levels of transformation. Whether that's your children or your husband or wife or your best friends or your clients or the people at your work, it doesn't matter. It's like the people in your life, like you want to leave a legacy. Like, you know, basically if you think about like, when you leave the planet, what will people have said about you? If people are leaving testimonials, what are those testimonials saying about their experience being around you? And so if you're anything like me, which I'm assuming you are, you're really longing and desiring to hold a powerful space and container for other people. That's just the way I view it. I view it as like a container. I hold space for people, right? Like I don't do the work for them, and I don't take credit for what they do. I just hold a container for them. Now, the thing that I've begun to recognize, or not really recognize, I think I've known this all along, but I've been putting into words verbally as a teacher, right? Like it's one thing to know it and experience it. It's another thing to be able to teach it in a way that other people can recreate it and calibrate to it. So my intention is for you to calibrate to this level of holding space for the people around you. What I've come to understand is that the way that you're able to create that level of transformation for the people around you is by you being willing to do the work yourself, to be able to have the wisdom and the experience and the strength and the savviness on the other side of the work, so that now all of the experiences I've gone through are now in my arena that I can hold a container for. So now someone who's struggling financially and wanting to invest from the beginning into creating their dream life, someone who needs boundaries in relationships, came through codependency, came through physical or sexual or religious abuse, someone who's looking to generate to the next level in their business, someone who's looking to have a global impact in their business, someone who's looking to be able to feel confident and sensual in their own body, someone who's like all of the things that were so hard and I looked at it and they were such a struggle. Those are all the things that I can hold a container for other people for. And the most exciting part about this, right? The most exciting part about this for sure is the fact that when I'm going through it, I now get to see it as like, oh, on the other side of this, I get to hold a container for this for people on the planet. And that's really incredible and really amazing. Now, here's the most important piece. And this is why I created the Ultimate Freedom Group, the 8-week Ultimate Freedom Group. The powerful work for people like you who are here to leave an impact on the planet and to truly make a difference in the lives of the people who are around them and the lives that you touch on this planet is about actually telling yourself a really deep truth, a transparent, honest truth, and having radical responsibility for yourself. That's the term that I latched onto because it like explained everything. Like it is such a powerful term, radical responsibility. So what I mean by this is we get to continue to use the things that have happened to us as a shackle, as something that holds us back, as the perfect excuse and reason not to embrace our power and show up for the people that we love or the people that we're here to impact. Or we get to use the things that have happened to us to empower us to be able to hold a container for other people who are going through the same thing. The evidence of which one you are choosing lies in the level of excuses and justifications that you're using. I had a friend to me just like 3 months ago around this particular area of my life, which was dating and romance and kind of like how I show up in that arena, say to me like, you have a lot of excuses for this. And I was like, oh, dare you? I'm not a woman of excuses, right? Like for me, that was like the ultimate insult to say I use excuses, but I recognized like instantly I saw the excuses I was using, which was an old familiar habit that I used to use in my business, that I used to use with money and finances, that I used to use with, a lot of different results in my life. So thankfully, I've worked and done the work to work through the pattern in those areas with, wealth and abundance and freedom and joy and happiness. But in this particular area, I was still struggling and that old pattern was coming back to that. Yes, radical responsibility. It's such a powerful, like if you're willing to, the screen is dark. If you're willing to accept radical responsibility for yourself, your whole life is going to change. So this is what I've come to understand about it. Who you are being day to day, when nobody else is watching. The things that you tell yourself and promise yourself, the way that you vision yourself, like I can see myself being this way. I can see myself showing up this way. I can see myself, if I were to do the things that I know to do, and if I could be consistent doing those things, I know that I could create this kind of life. And usually the kind of life that we know we can create, we get a little bit jealous about. So we'll see other people living like, I've had clients say to me like, you're living my life, Mandy, which is so powerful because all that's happening is the part of them that is being called to more is resonating with it. And the feeling they're feeling we identify as jealousy. But all jealousy is the part of you that resonates with the fact that you know damn well you could have that result or that thing or that experience and you're not having it, and that bothers you, and it should bother you. But we want to stay closer to those things because those things that trigger us that way, those things are calling out the part of us that we're denying and ignoring. So what has caused such prolific expansion in my life is the ability to be able to tell myself the truth and the ability to be able to take incredible, deep responsibility for the outcomes in my life. So the way I've always explained it to my clients, like when I used to do enrollment calls with clients and stuff like that, is up until now, the way that you have been thinking and showing up has created the experience of life that you are having. Up until now, the way that you think about finances is creating your financial experience. Up until now, your beliefs and your actions around your business are creating the results that you have in your business right now. Up until now, the way that you believe and the way that you've been showing up and the actions that you have been making decisions to make, your choices up until now have been creating the experience of belonging and connection that you're experiencing. Up until now, the way that you believe and the way that you've been deciding actively and choosing to show up is creating the level of impact that you have on the planet. It's always up to you. You have the power, every single human being, and I have dug to the depths of my soul to see that if I mean this, and I have done it more than one time, do I really believe that every human being can be incredibly powerful and savvy and successful and financially well off and in massive levels of abundance and wealthy and rich? Do I really believe that? 100%, without a shadow of a doubt, I believe that any human being who feels called to live a powerful, successful life has the ability to live and have a powerful, successful life, has the ability to truly lead the people that they are meant to leave on this planet and leave a lasting impact, a global, world-class impact on the planet. And the reason I believe this is because I know what it takes to do it. I know who I was, and I know what it takes to leave that kind of impact. I know what it takes in order for us to get to a state of overflow, in order for us to be truly happy every single day. It doesn't mean that you're never gonna have stories about money or moments where you are in the squeeze or moments where you're in that that capsule of growth, because that's what's required in order for us to be seasoned. However, it does mean that you get to have the experience of life that you want to have. And the way to do this is by having actual, true responsibility for yourself and for your actions, for you to recognize the excuses you're using, for you to recognize the justifications for behaviors that you're using. Whether it's something as small as, well, I'm not gonna cook a healthy dinner for my family even though that bothers the crap out of you. Or that means like, well, I'm not gonna hop on a Facebook Live because I look like crap and I'm all sweaty and I'm out in the sunshine and I'm not even dressed. Or I'm not gonna launch this next group because what if it flops? Or I'm not gonna, let that person know my reflection of them because they might think I'm stupid. Or I'm not going to I'm not gonna have this big of a dream and this big of a vision because if I own that level of leadership, people will think I'm prideful, or whatever it is, right? So the way that we do this is by accepting radical responsibility for your behavior and your decisions, your justifications and your excuses. And it's about understanding and recognizing that who I show up day to day on the back end is what's going to create the results on the front end. If I want to have massive levels of impact and have clients that are getting massive breakthrough and make tons and tons of money and leave a global impact on the planet, am I showing up and being a woman who is that in my bedroom when nobody else is watching? Am I being her moment by moment and day by day, and what I'm creating and what I believe, like who I am and what I'm emanating out of my being and my soul, is that in alignment with who I envision myself being day to day? Now, the one thing most people want to know and the thing most people want to ask is like, yeah, that's all well and good, Mandy, but I can't get myself to change. I've tried to get myself to be more consistent. I've tried to get myself to have more powerful, consistent, creation in my programs or in selling or in my Facebook Lives or in my blogs or in my writing or in my art or in my music or in my whatever the thing is. I've tried to get myself to show up. I've tried to get myself to be brave enough to hire all those team members or to launch myself to the next level or to get my ass on stage or to write that book or to run the event in the retreat. I've tried to get myself to do these things, Mandy, but I can't get myself to do it. And you don't understand. I've been trying. I've done everything. I've tried everything, but I can't get myself to do it. I actually hear what you're saying. But the way that we get, when we have something that is an idea, an inspiration, we envision ourselves being that way, in order to get ourselves from the place where it's just an idea to it's an actual truth, meaning it's something that's intrinsically part of who I am, what's required is an actual experience in our body. We can think it all we want, but when we experience something in our body, when we feel it in our body, when we experience it, when we get a taste of it, it shifts something inside of us. It shifts it from an idea to a truth by experiencing it in our body. And the best part about this, if we really look at this and you're tracking with me, let me know if you're tracking with me. Tell me in the comments, I'm tracking with you, okay? The best part about this is that, first of all, most people won't tell themselves the truth. So how are they gonna take responsibility if they're not even telling themselves the truth? The truth about what they want, the truth about what makes them happy, the truth about what freedom actually feels like for them, the truth about what's pissing them off and what's not working in their life. But if we get past that phase, then we're going to the phase of taking radical responsibility. Most people get stuck there. They want to blame somebody. Yeah, but you don't understand how hard my childhood was. Or I don't have any horrible stories to tell people, so that doesn't work either. Like every end of the spectrum, I've heard it all and I've used it all. Yes, tracking. Thank you, Heather. Okay, so then we're at the place where we have a lot of justifications and a lot of excuses. Let's say we get past that and we are in an arena where somebody else is reflecting back to us the excuses and justifications, probably one of the most powerful reasons for coaching. one of the most powerful ways or reasons for being with a coach or a mentor or in the room, like I call it being in the room, right? Like, so with like this Ultimate Freedom program I have coming up, 8 weeks, being in the room means like I'm in that container. I've backed myself and I put myself in that room right there because that resonated, the message, the work, the result on the other side. That's me, I need that, I want that, and you really actually convince yourself and talk yourself into being brave, and then you back yourself, right? That's being in the room. So that's one of the most powerful reasons to be in the room, is to have someone reflect back to you the justifications and excuses you're using, because oftentimes we don't see them because they're good. They're good excuses. They're good justifications. So let's say we tell ourselves the truth, and then we're also actually calling ourselves out on the justification and excuses. We're taking radical responsibility for ourselves. After that is the place where we go to the place where now we need to have the experience of it in our body so that it shifts from just an idea or a thought into a truth for us, into something that we're intrinsically reacting out of. It's like it's part of our being. It's now part of how, if I'm going to respond or react to something, it's reacting out of that new place because it's a truth for me. Now, where does everybody go? If I'm taking radical responsibility, I'm going to do this different. That's it. I'm finally going to do this different. I'm going to show up every day on a Facebook Live. I swear to God, I'm going to do it this time. That's actually not what's going to get you to do it every single time. That's a fleeting feeling. That's like, I got inspired, I got motivated. People love that, and I love to inspire and motivate people, but it's not lasting. That's not lasting. You're not going to get lasting change because I motivated you for 20 minutes on a Facebook Live. What's going to get you lasting change is when you actually put your ass in a room where you have no choice but to show up differently. And in that room, what's reflected back to you is your justifications and your excuses, and you have an experience in your body of something new. And what does everybody avoid? Everybody wants to avoid the experience. Some people believe it's a sin to have an experience. Some people believe it's just a waste of time. Some people have so much anxiety and so much negative thoughts and momentum around behind their thing that they're in this chaotic state of just doing, and I'm going to try this, 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 and I'm going to try this. And they won't ever stop for a second and tell themselves the truth, get really, really honest with yourself about the responsibility, and take responsibility for the current circumstances that you have in your life, because they're on you. And it's okay. It was always meant to be exactly where you're at. But because it's on you, it also means you have the power to change it. And then it's about actually allowing yourself to have an experience that's going to intrinsically change this inside of you. It's going to rewire stuff inside of you. And then you have it inside of you. It's an internal experience that you have. And then out of that place is where now we're going to take massive action on being the leader that you're called to be. Being the human being who's in integrity, so that when there's other people who are going through all the things that I've already gone through now, I actually can hold a powerful space where I'm reflecting back to them what's available for them, and I'm reflecting back to them what I'm calling them to, and I'm holding a very high standard, which blew my mind when I understood this. The only thing required for true leadership is very high standards. My standard is I make this amount of money. People behind me, that's not their standard. Their standard is something different. Let's say my standard is 80K months, their standard is 10K months. Different standard. My standard is I get to have a relaxing, beautiful, comfortable environment, and unless I'm in a state of growth, then the drama is removed. Like anything that's not required for growth, that drama is removed. That's my standard. So that's what my experience is. People who are a couple steps behind me, where I was just a year ago, they're still letting drama infest their life, and they don't have that same standard or boundary. Leading is nothing more than really powerful high standards that have been seasoned because you've had experiences. So my call for you guys today is to not avoid the very thing that's going to bring the most amount of transformation. Let's tell the damn truth. Let's really just tell the truth. Let's stop. And again, if you've done it before, which I'm sure you have, we're going to do it at this new level. If you've never done it before, congratulations. This is about to rock your entire universe. We are going to take responsibility. We are not going to blame things. We're not going to blame circumstances. We're not going to blame dead people. We're not going to blame our childhood. We're not going to blame the divorce we had. We're not going to blame the move that we have. We're not going to blame the job that we're stuck in. We're not going to blame the children that we had. We're not going to blame any of the things around us anymore, because that doesn't serve you. And the world is waiting. There are so many people suffering, and only your voice and only you can reach those people. And the call for you today is for you to stop blaming the conditions and circumstances around you like those are relevant. They're not relevant. Who you choose and decide to be today is what's relevant. And it's available for you to choose and decide to be the highest level version of yourself that you envision. And you get to call yourself to her, and then you get to make decisions that back being her or him. You are deciding to back the highest level version of you, and no single circumstance or event around you has anything to do with that. And nothing can take that away from you. Nobody, no hard circumstance, no situation, no amount of money in your bank, none of that has any relevance whatsoever to who you decide and choose to be today, and then who you decide to choose and be to back that up, to put your ass in a room where you are required to show up to something more. And in that is where ultimate freedom comes from. It might feel in the beginning when we're taking so much responsibility and we're taking accountability for the way, I'm taking accountability for the experience I'm having of my children. I'm taking accountability of the experience I'm having in my romantic life. I'm taking accountability for how my body looks and feels and the level of energy that I have. I'm taking accountability for the results in my business, for the amount of money in my bank, for the impact that I'm leaving on the world, for how my clients are feeling, for how the friendships that I have, for the environment that I live in. I'm taking accountability and responsibility for how all things are in my life right now. And it might feel overwhelming to do that at first, but it's where all the freedom is. It's where all the freedom is. It's where all of the freedom is. It's where all of the freedom is. I know you can see this. And I know for some people it might feel scary and a little bit overwhelming, but this is what I want to tell you. It's like it happens in layers, okay? It's like this happens in layers, and this happens 1% at a time. It's like 1% today in one area, and maybe another area. On a really powerful day, maybe you banged out 1% in 3 areas, and maybe on the most fantastic, wonderful, incredible day of your entire life, you shifted 4% in 3 areas. But that is like the greatest day ever, like ever, ever, ever. Most days, you're shifting 1% in one area, and that's okay. That is an epic life. Because in that life and in those kind of decisions and in that place, you are taking complete responsibility and accountability for the life and the experience that you have. And yeah, you're going to cry sometimes. Yeah, you're going to look at it and you're going to be like, oh, I don't like how I showed up there. I don't like the results that I created there. I'm disappointed in myself. I'm frustrated in myself. That's okay. It's okay. Feel the disappointment. Feel the frustration. Feel the fear of like, but that means I would have to take this action and I don't know if that's going to work. And what if I screw it up? That's okay. Feel the fear. Disappointment never killed nobody. Fear never killed anybody. That shit's just trapped inside anyway. You think that you're not consciously or subconsciously aware of the disappointment you have about that result anyways? You are. You're already feeling the disappointment. Stop lying about it. You're already feeling the fear because you knew that you're going to take that brave leap anyways. Stop procrastinating. What is the point of feeling little bits of disappointment every single day and letting it beat you up? What is the point of fearing taking that brave leap that you know you're going to take eventually anyway, and then procrastinating on having all the rewards and the results on the other side? What is the point of that? You deserve better. You deserve better. You deserve a better experience. You deserve a more powerful experience. You deserve a more beautiful, fun, loving, wild, romantic, exciting, expressive experience of life. And that comes by stopping, ignoring all these little things that are out here and pulling them in and looking them dead in the face, and then taking true responsibility for it, and then choosing things that back it up. And I mean really back it up. Choosing things that really back it up. Sometimes it'll look like something you never would have expected it to look like. And it's about recognizing and understanding that just the way that we work, just the way that we are designed is we can't go from the clarity and the recognition to massive action without something in between, because you've already done that 7 million times and it did not work. So we need to be smart and wise and savvy and intelligent enough for us to recognize, I'm not going to do the definition of insanity and keep doing the same thing over and over and assuming it's going to work a different time. Yeah, but Mandy, being excited, I'm so excited to do this, I just can't wait to do it. Yeah, but how many other times were you just so excited and wanted to do it and then didn't follow through with it fully? There's a pattern here. So let's just look at it. Like there's no, like it's safe to look at it like, okay, that doesn't work. What's missing here? What's different? Because my motto, and all my clients know this, my motto is whatever actually friggin' works. What's your goal? What is your goal? 100K months? Okay, what's actually going to get you to 100K months? Can we have that conversation? What is actually required for you to literally choose to be and show up today as the woman or the man who creates the 100K months? What is actually required for that to happen? Because if we're not creating the results that we want, we're not telling ourselves the truth about what's required for that to happen. And if we are telling ourselves the truth, then we're making up excuses or justifications why we're not stepping into it today, right now. Because, like, do you want to do some scary math? Let's start working out about how many days we have left in our life. How many months is there left of life? I don't even want to do that math. Whew. Not much time. And this is your chance. This is your shot. The world is waiting. It's literally available for anybody who's willing to be brave enough to step in and do the work. And that's it. There's no justification or no excuse required or necessary or that will work or that will undo the fact that this is available for you if that's what you want. Your dream is calling for you, and it's time for you to be responsible and accountable for the results that you have and step into something new so you get to have something else. I love you, Janet. Such a pattern. Yes. That is my pattern. I get excited and think I'm going to do it and then don't. That's 99% of the population. And so what's happening there is we're going straight from like this frantic, chaotic, like there's two different feelings that are very, very common in this field, especially building a business. One of them is like, oh my God, I'm super excited and I'm going to do this, blah, blah, blah. And then we like do impulsive things and we just do a bunch of impulsive things. And usually those will feel like magical pills. I was talking about that earlier in my group. Like, oh, this thing is going to be a magical pill for me, right? So versus, and I'm going to use the group that I have right now, the Ultimate Freedom Group, 8 weeks, Ultimate Freedom, okay? Versus what it would feel like if this is an integrity for you to do this group. What it would feel like is not, this is some magical pill that's going to cure my life. That's not what this is, and you're going to get a rude awakening, which I'm happy to give you because it's still in alignment. If you want to hop in as a magical pill, that's fine because you're going to learn exactly what you needed to learn on the other side of that as well. The energy that's in alignment with a group like this is, I see that I have not been taking responsibility for myself and the results in my life, and I want to have that reflected back to me and have accountability for that, and I'm willing to do things differently now. I'm willing to call myself out on that, and I'm willing to go through the growth and the seasoning in order to become the human being who chooses the highest level version of me consistently on the daily. And I'm ready to put myself in a room where my justifications and my excuses and my trauma and my sadness and my messiness and my chaoticness, there's no room for that. And I'm ready to be in a room and find out what life feels like and have the experience of what life feels like to be called to ultimate freedom and to be willing to be accountable for how I show up. That is a person who's in integrity and alignment and ready for ultimate freedom. And so what happens is on the interim, of course, we have all this messy stuff. Of course, like, you wouldn't need the program if you weren't chaotic and messy and using some excuses and justifications. That's what it's for, and that's what it's designed for. But it's two very different energies. One is victimhood and one is leadership. That's what it is. I mean, I don't know any other way to call it. Victimhood is excuses and justifications, which I was the queen of, and I still have areas where I'm still cleaning it up. I still find myself having justifications like, oh, well, and I'm so good at it. I'm so good at finding these clever, awesome, powerful justifications that just about anybody will believe. And let me just tell you how much I value the people who won't believe it, right? That's why I know the value I bring to the table with this, because I've used every justification and excuse that you're using already. That shit ain't gonna fly here, right? So there's the victimhood and the justifications and the excuses and feeling like you don't really have control of your circumstances and feeling bad for yourself and telling yourself a story that I've done it all and I'm confused. Then there is the radical accountability and responsibility for yourself and scanning the results you have in your life and being really honest and feeling the feelings and emotions of what you feel about that and what you feel about how you've showed up and contribute to that, and then excelling on the things that, and continue doing the things that you do well, and really actually cleaning up the things you don't do well, and being willing to be accountable for those things and to sort of stand there and feel it, and to allow yourself to feel it and allow it to wash over to you, and allow yourself to make different decisions, and to feel the feelings of what it feels like to step into the new things. That's what growth actually feels like. It's complacency or growth. Complacency is like, I'm going to live the same day over and over and over. I'm going to call that a freaking life. And leadership is I'm willing to experience a new life. I'm innovating. I'm waking up every day and I'm looking at how can I make this day just a little bit better? What area of life is standing out for me today? How can I show up and do this different? What am I bringing to the table differently here? How am I backing myself today? How am I out of integrity today? You know, what am I feeling called to clean up today? What am I feeling called to take responsibility and accountability for? Did I let somebody down? Is there a conversation to be had? Is there massive action to take to back something because I've got the clarity and done the work on the other side of it? This is a very different way of living, and leadership and showing up that way, it doesn't require a big audience. It doesn't require you to have a lot of pull. It doesn't require a certain amount of money in the bank. It doesn't require any kind of notoriety or power or anything like that. All that's required is for you to decide that today I'm going to show up in a way where I'm going to take leadership and accountability and responsibility for the arena that I do have in front of me, for the area of impact that I have in front of me. And when I show up with excellence in the area that I have impact on, the area of impact is going to continue to expand and 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 expand all the way past anything you could have ever possibly thought that it would. And the whole time, the only thing you feel is freedom. People get so scared that when it expands, it's going to feel like suffocation and so much responsibility. No, it just feels like more freedom and more freedom and more freedom. I just had this really incredible client say this to me, and I thought it was so powerful that they said, sorry, I'm just scrolling down. If I'm not growing, I'm dying. 100%. Love it. So I just had a client reflect something back to me, and I'll just tell you guys honestly, because that's what I do. No filter. Why change that now? They said to me that they saw an old video with me in my old relationship with my ex, and they saw a video back to back. One of the videos I was by myself and I was teaching, and another one I was with this other person, with my ex. They were teaching with me, and they said, what a incredible difference in your energy. It was so out of alignment when you were with your ex. And it was such an awesome moment because I was like, yeah, it's so funny because in that moment, that was the most freedom I could ever picture. Like, my life was incredible to me right then. But looking back, I can see how I was still suffocating a little bit. But compared to what I knew before, that was the most I could ever imagine. So most people will never be willing to dream big, to innovate, to show up differently, to live with excellence, to do what's required, to be responsible, to blow off the excuses and the justifications and stand face to face with the results of your decisions and your behavior and what you've been choosing to think about, because they can't even comprehend the amazingness on the other side of it. How incredible what's on I don't even know how to tell, I don't know how to explain to you how epic it is on the other side of doing this work, what it feels like to be a person of that level of integrity in leadership and to be able to hold that level of container because you were willing to stay in it, you were willing to take that level of accountability, you were willing to back yourself, to put yourself in the room where you didn't get away with this stuff anymore, so that it wasn't lip service anymore, so that you were embracing the highest level version of you every single day, and you were just letting your area of influence continue to expand as you lived in excellence, and you got to continue to have the rewards of freedom on the other side of that. I don't know what else to say about it except for to just tell you, I promise it's worth the work. And I promise it's far beyond anything your mind can comprehend on the other side. But today it looks like you being willing to appreciate what you have, to live in a state of gratitude for the things that you do have and how credible it is right now. Because looking back when I was in that situation where clearly I was suffocating, I was in a state of gratitude and expansion, and I couldn't believe how amazing my life was then. And today, I can't imagine my life being any better than this. And I know in 10 years, I'm going to look back and think how silly it was that this felt like such massive freedom and expansion. And it'll only continue to get better because I've learned that that's how it works. And so if you feel called to live to this level of transformation in your life, to live to this level of accountability for the results in your life, if you're ready to live to that level of leadership, if you're willing to stand in it and to face this and to look at it and to have the experience of outgrowing it and to expanding on the other side of it, if you're willing to take radical responsibility and have that level of honesty in your life, and you're willing to feel the powerful results on the other side and hold the space of receiving that level of results in your life, then this 8-week program is for you. This is literally designed for you. It's for the people who are done with the magical pills, done with frantic action and just doing a whole bunch of crap, and ready to live to that level in intentionality. and showing up for the people they love to that level of intentionality and to that level of integrity, and are willing to hold that level of a vision for themselves to expand and leave that kind of global impact on the planet. So if you're interested in that, I know there's a lot of comments that I missed. If you're interested in that, just comment below. We'll send you the private link for it, or PM me in my inbox, either way, and me and my team will give that to you. Diana, yes, I want to be there. Yes, girl. That's it. That's the feeling. I want it, right? I was talking about this earlier in one of my groups in the Awakened CEO. By the way, the Awakened CEO is officially closed. Doors are closed. A couple of people were asked, but the doors are closed. I really just honor the space in there. The giveaway is still going on, so that's below in a Facebook Live, or the mandyperry.com has the giveaway on it as well. So the difference is, like, I want that, and I've decided I get to have it, and that is radical responsibility, because when we decide we get to have it, then we will back it up. Because when you could have it, but you're not showing up in a way to get you that, that's responsibility. Versus the feeling, which gets you excused from responsibility, is I want that, but I can't have it because excuse, because it's justification, I'm not allowed to have that thing. I'm going to tell myself I'm not worthy. I'm going to tell myself anything that I can to make me not be accountable for getting the results that I long for. That's the mischief. It's not noble. It's not noble. It's just being scared. That's it. And it's not bad to be scared. That's born out of trauma, and we all go through it. We're human beings. It's not anything to judge ourselves for, but it's not something to believe either. It's a boogeyman, as we call it in the tribe. It's a boogeyman. It's not real. So I'm unavailable for living my life believing things that aren't real. Like in disillusion. Is that the word? Is that a word? Disillusion? What is the word for, like, I don't believe it? Like things that aren't real. Disillusion. Maybe that's a word. Yes, so right. I want it, but I may not believe I can have it. That's it. And that's where people will get stuck, right there. Versus, holy crap, this is scaring the crap out of me. I have no idea how this is going to work or what it's going to look like, but I've decided that I get to have this now, and I'm going to back it up. And a decision always comes with action to back it. A decision is not a decision if it's just a feeling like, oh my God, I'm so excited, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this. That's not a decision. That's a fleeting feeling. That's a very immature way of showing up to run a global business. That's not how we run a global business. We run a global business by saying, that's the vision, that's the goal, this is the action I'm taking right now in this moment to back it. I'm backing it literally right now. And so when someone decides something, I will know they have decided because I will see behavior that backs that instantly. You are instantly the moment that you have clarity and you can see it, the moment you have the most power, the most clarity, and the most bravery is the moment you take the action. So let's just use the group for example. If this group resonates with you, you would be taking instant action right now, backing that up and saying like, hell yes, whatever it takes, I'm in. And that's what the message would sound like hell yes, I'm in, Mandy. I don't even know what this costs or I don't know when it starts, but I'm in, give me the details, right? I've done that so many times. If it looks like something else, some other area we're taking massive action, you would be taking that action right now. No justifications, no excuses. You just take action right now because you decided that you're worthy and you get to have what you dream of because you do. And that is the difference between being in victimhood and being a true leader who will lead other people into massive healing and leave an impact on this planet, which is what you are called to do, or you would not be here listening to me rant and rave about it. You would not. Illusion, thank you. Delusional and illusion. Was I mixing a bunch of words? We call those Mandyisms. I don't call them. The tribe calls them Mandyisms. They're the words that I make up by myself. So this is what you are called to today. I hope this serves you tremendously. I hope this shakes things up and stirs it up in you because that's where the growth happens. And if if ultimate freedom resonates with you, if this type of living resonates with you, if this type of showing up resonates with you, just let me know below or PM me and we'll send you the private link. I love you guys. And I know this is not a message that most people will listen to. Most people will start listening to this and go click next and it will keep scrolling because they're not trying to listen to this. So if you stayed on and you let yourself listen to this and be called to this, I love you and I'm proud of you and I'm honored to do life with you. And you are the kind of human being that inspires me and gets me to wake up every day and show up and do the work that I do because it's people like you that are really going to truly heal the planet. And I'm so honored and grateful to do life with you. So thank you for being here. Thank you for engaging. And if you got value in this, please share the video so that others can get the same message. I realize now I've been waiting for years to be invited to success and wealth, but really just needed to get my own ass in the room. Bam! Nailed it, Nicole. Nailed it. That is, yes, exactly, 100%, absolutely, 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 100%. Where all of my success has come from is that right there. Yes, yes, yes. Love you back, powerful. Oh, thank you guys. I love you so much. Okay, have a fantastic day. I can't wait to see who joins me for this program. That is all I have to say. You're welcome, Liana. Oh, love you, mama. I love having you on here, mommy. Love it. It's amazing. Okay, I love you guys. Have a fantastic day.